Hi, Anna Chargin here with Fearless Women 50 Plus Summit. And today's guest and speaker is Lisa Hammett. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Anna. How are you?
Oh, really good. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here with us. And listen, I tell you, I'm so excited to have Lisa here, but let me tell you a little bit about her. She's a TEDx speaker and an international best-selling author, a certified positive intelligence coach. Ooh, we got to learn about that, Lisa. As well as a wellness expert, helping HR and healthcare executives manage stress, which is always good, improve productivity and communication, and regain their well-being and health. She has decades, I think 26 years of experience in corporate retail industry, and she knows firsthand the toll that stress and burnout can take on individuals. After transformational health and wellness journey, where she lost 65 pounds, Lisa decided to dedicate her life and helping others achieve their health and wellness objectives. She has positively impacted the lives of thousands of individuals, empower them to make lasting change. Her first book, From Burnout to Best Life, got to learn about that. How to take charge of your health and happiness. Reach bestseller status of 16 categories. Welcome, Lisa. So glad.
Thank you so much.
So we're talking, to an audience of women who are kicking off a new business, want to start a new business, or maybe they just started a business and now they want to grow their business in 2024. So having you is somebody who walked the talk and firsthand and has learned so much. So we want you to share your wisdom. So let's start. Let's talk about kind of how you started and got into business for yourself. Can you share that story?
Absolutely. So as you mentioned, I spent 26 years in the corporate retail sector, and I know we'll go into my backstory in a little bit, but it led to burnout, and I left that career, and I started to reclaim my health. I went to Weight Watchers and I lost 65 pounds. And then I decided to become a health and wellness coach because I was so passionate about the program and I loved the members and I loved the program. So that's really what got me into the coaching space and I loved it. And then I spent quite a few years, actually, I should say, I think it was 16 years in the direct selling industry, which was very successful in that, had team, reached director status, earned some great trips. But that also applies, to coaching as well, because you have a team of women, sometimes men, depending upon the industry, that you support. So that kind of led me into the coaching space. And then during the pandemic, I actually started my own personal coaching practice because I realized I needed to do it for myself. I had sufficient training and I was still working on additional training. But you know what? I need to do this for me, for myself. And all of those things that I had done prior kind of gave me the confidence that, I can do this. Plus, I had a lot of people coming to me during the pandemic because they knew about my health and wellness journey and they had put on COVID weight, as a lot of people had, and they just were stressed. They felt lost. And they're like, can you help me? And I'm like, sure. And the more people that came to me, I think that was also really part of the reason I decided to start my own business, because I just felt like, wow, there's a lot of people out here and they need help. And who better than me? So that's kind of how it happened.
At least I have to comment, when we start to look at our gifts and our talent and we start to share that, it really makes a difference in people's lives. So I like the fact that you said, I did it for me. I wanted to coach because I wanted to help people, and this is what best serves me, but it also serves so many people around you. So I'm glad that you brought that up, because we don't think about ourselves and what we like sometimes. We think about what other people want. And the fact that you saw that, I think that's fantastic.
Well, thank you. I did a lot of self-development. I'll
Very
tell you. And actually, a lot of the clients that I work with now, I help through job transitions or just to kind of, plan their future, whether it's retirement or, just starting a business, whatever it is. But, we have to ask these big questions as far as, okay, what are our core values? What are we passionate about? What are our strengths? So you have to really reflect and look inside yourself. And that's what I did. And now I help others to do that so they can formulate that vision for their future and then create those goals that are achievable. I like to call them smarter goals. So
there you go. So what happened to you? I mean, what was the stress about?
oh gosh.
I
Okay.
keep it high level and not get
Right. So I spent 26 years in the corporate retail sector.
ah,
And for anybody who has been in the retail space, in the service industry in any capacity, knows that it's very driven by the economy and often politics and it just
true.
kind of the season and it's very stressful and it's very volatile. And I started in a department store chain and worked my way up into management, was in buying, and then went into corporate. And when you're young and you're in your 20s and you're traveling a lot, it's fun, it's exciting, and I still enjoy traveling. I do that for speaking engagements, but you want to have a life as you get older. And when you're working every weekend and you're working just during holidays and you really don't have much of a life, and the times that you are off is not the times that your family or your friends are off, and it starts to take a toll. And then in the corporate space of it, the pressure was crazy,
Uh,
again, based upon the economy, and you're just constantly redoing things. And it led me to burnout. And I equate burnout in my case to slamming into a wall at full speed, and it just knocked me out and I was just completely done. Another way I look at it too is I woke up one morning and the world just looked gray, devoid of color, which was kind of freaked me out because, there's a lot of color in the world, even on a gray day like today. At least that's where I am. But, it just obviously a big sign of depression. So
it caught up
it
to
led to burnout.
yeah,
It
a
caught
lot.
up to me.
I experienced that too, but in corporate too, I mean, all the pressure, even that extra pressure we put on ourselves to achieve and accomplish our goals,
Mhm.
it can be a bit much. And I find that talking to women, they seem to ignore those symptoms until,
Oh,
like you said, you just hit a wall. So what happened when you transitioned to your own business? I know you walk the talk and now you're helping other people, but what was your approach in starting a business? Because there's so many concerns. Like, I don't want to give up my corporate job. I don't know if I can do it. What did you go through? What were some of the things that you found that you walked through the fear? Obviously, you have a successful business now,
mhm.
but anything that you want to share with the audience?
Absolutely. It's scary when you go out on your own because you're not guaranteed a paycheck every single day unless you develop a business that has a lot of residual income, or you put clients on like a monthly retainer or something like that. But even then, that's usually based on contract. So it is risky. The first I would say to anybody, and this may seem like a no-brainer, but the most important thing to do is to really have a good business plan in place. And we have great ideas and those ideas can come to fruition, but we have to have a plan in place of how that's going to happen. And we have to make sure that we have the financial means to be able to build that business, because you hear stories and they're all lies. I'm going to be honest, that people can, oh, in 30 days, I was making a 7-figure income.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no.
you're full of it. I'm sorry, that doesn't happen. I'm not going to say there isn't like less than 0.0001% that maybe did that, a couple people in the whole world, but that was a fluky thing. That does not happen. That's not the average person. It usually takes 2 to 3 years to really get to full speed in a business. And that can be a long time at a low salary. So unless you are guaranteed that you're getting some other kind of income coming in, I think that's why it's good to maybe continue to work at a guaranteed job, for X amount of time, even at a reduced number of hours, just so that you have some kind of income coming in. Or if you've developed enough of a savings that can sustain you, then that's good. So, have that business plan in place and get an accountability partner, get a mentor, get a coach, accountability partner, a mentor, somebody that can help hold you accountable and can also provide you guidance. And then look at people in the industry that you're going into that you respect and try to bend their ear if you can. Now, I'm going to use an example. One of the people that I most respect, who I will meet one day, is Brene Brown. Have I talked to her personally? No, I have not yet, but I say yet. So, I say be realistic, have somebody that you highly respect and bend their ear and learn from them. And you can follow people like the Brene Browns or the other, some people like Simon Sinek, whatever it is, Oprah Winfrey, follow those people and really learn their story and what made them successful, because it isn't an overnight success. So, the business plan, the mentor, the accountability partner, definitely to keep you on target, because you're going to hit highs and you're going to hit lows. And if you have somebody that can support you through those lows, that will make a tremendous difference. And then don't stop learning at all. It's very important to reinvest in yourself through training and education. So, as you're building your business and you're getting an income, start repurposing that and putting that back into ways that you can learn and educate yourself.
Well, one thing, I think all of those things are fabulous. But, when I find that I want to give up, I think about my mission and my why. And, just knowing that you're passionate enough about it will sustain you through those difficult times. And I'm with you. I invited Brene Brown to this show.
Good for you. I love that.
Yes, but I think having people that you admire and following them on their podcast and what they're doing is excellent as well. Anything you would do, let's say, when you think back and you kind of laugh at yourself, anything that you would do differently now, for people just starting out? I know all the things you listed are great, but when you think about your journey, is there one thing that you would do differently? That's hard, huh?
That is really hard.
You had a mission though.
I really did. The only thing that I would do differently is to really manage my mindset. But that really was more the precursor to my burnout, because
Okay.
had I listened to those warning signs instead of, just to your point, just brush them under the table and really focus more on making sure my head was in the right space and emotionally I was in the right space, I probably would not have gotten to burnout. So I would say that's really important. And ever since I started, my business, I spent a lot of time and education on advancing my mindset, improving my mindset. And that's why I pursued certification with positive intelligence, because I just felt that was so important. Because, again, going back to the highs and the lows of a business, if you're not going to be happy all the time and you're going to feel like, why am I doing this? I'm not qualified. Who am I to think that I can do this? All that garbage, that mind trash we tell ourselves, it doesn't matter. The Brene Browns, all the Oprah Winfreys, all of them, they all go through that at some point. We just don't see that. So we think, oh, they're perfect. Oh, that's a load of crap.
Yeah. Well, it does
So not
take a
true.
while. It does. And any
Yeah,
good business, it takes a while.
it
So I'm
does.
glad that you brought it up. So Lisa, talk about what you're doing today.
So what I am doing today is, and I'll start. So my book here.
Yeah.
Yay, from Burnout to Best Life. So I finished that late. It was December 2022, actually. So I've had it for just a little over a year. And the purpose of me writing that is to really be a stepping stone to get me into corporations in front of thought leaders to help staff on how to better manage their mindset, their health and well-being, so they can manage their stress and prevent burnout. So what this book has done for me now is really propelled me into the speaking circuit, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And I've been networking for years, and when I was a coach with Weight Watchers, I spoke in front of groups sometimes of 100 people, so I felt very comfortable talking to people. But this took it up to a whole nother level. So really a big part of my business is speaking, and I absolutely love it. I love being in a room with people who have these pain points that they need addressing, and I love very interactive presentations where I can ask a lot of questions and I can roam through the audience and get feedback and really kind of get in their heads of what they want, and then tailor my presentation to the needs of the audience. So I love that. And obviously the coaching piece is a part of it too. So it's kind of a three-step process. And then this year, one of my goals is to outline my next book. And I'm trying to decide if I want to do a second edition of this book or if it's like a companion piece to this. So I'm not going to publish this year because I've got too much on my plate with speaking and with continuing to build my coaching practice, but that is definitely in the works. So that's what I'm working on now.
Oh, that's so great. And how can people get your book?
So the best way would be to go to my website, lisahammett.com. And there is a page on there. It's a book page, and you'll learn more about it. You'll see a couple interviews that I had that talks more in depth about the book. And there's also a direct link to Amazon. So you can purchase it on Amazon in paperback or on Kindle. I haven't done an audiobook yet, and I was going to do that, but I opted to hold off because if I'm going to do another book or a second edition, I want that to be the audiobook.
Oh, I see. Wow. How do you find time to write a book and do everything else that you're doing? You must manage your calendar very well.
Well, yes, that's a lot of what I speak about in speaking engagements is setting healthy boundaries, managing your time block, because we all are super busy. So it's really blocking your time on certain days. And once I started to do that with my schedule, like I have certain days of the week that I just see clients. And then there are other days of the week that I do networking. And then that's when prospects have an opportunity to book on my calendar. And then I have speaking engagements often on those days as well. And then I have Fridays, which is kind of my personal catch up day. And also that's when I try to do like doctor's appointments, all that kind of stuff. So it is very, very necessary when you have a full plate to do that, to time block and to be very strategic with your time, because it's so easy for time to just go away. And you're like, what did I do today?
I know. Other than your books and your upcoming book, do you offer coaching services for individuals or groups?
Oh, I absolutely do. I do one-to-one and group coaching.
Okay.
So through the Positive Intelligence program that I'm certified in, I offer a 6-week course on taking a deep dive into mental fitness. And basically what that is, it's the education of how our left brain harbors most of our, actually all of our negative thought patterns, and how those negative thought patterns impact or sabotage our our life, our relationships, our productivity, our communication, and prevent us from being successful. So it's learning and becoming aware of them, learning how to intercept them, and then to shift to a positive mindset. So it's a really great course, and it's the foundation of my practice, because a lot of those principles then will carry on through individual coaching sessions, or I've had teams of people go through, like a leader would take the course and then want the team to go through it. So because it does help with communication as well.
Wow.
So there's that, and then I do more extensive one-to-one coaching beyond that as well.
That's fantastic. Thank you. And what is your website? It's lisahammett.com.
Yep, that's it. lisahammett.com.
Is there anything else you would like to offer the audience, or go to your website and get the book?
Yes. So again, this is the book if you want to see it.
Burnout to Best Life by Lisa.
Yes. Now, what I would like to give for viewers here is the workbook that goes with this book. And it's very helpful because it helps you create that vision statement for your future. So if you're starting a business or you're looking to scale your business, having that laser focused vision of where you see that business going is super important. And then walking through the process of how to create that why that you had mentioned earlier, and how to create those goals that are not only achievable and realistic, but doable, that you can absolutely do them, and you're energized by them, and you're excited to do them as well. So that's a free workbook that I want to give to anybody participating. Yes. So they could send me a message on my website, or they can email me directly.
And tell them they were part of the Fearless Women.
Yes.
Okay, great. And any parting words or quotes for the audience you'd like to share?
Yes. So one of my favorite, and it's funny, for years I didn't even know, and I'm not even sure how I pronounce his last name, but it's Marcus Aurelius, I think. And his version is, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Now, kind of my version of it is, the quality of our life is based on the quality of our thoughts. So bottom line, if our head's not in the game, we're not going to be successful in anything in life. So if we're manufacturing a bunch of garbage in our thought process, then what we're thinking about, we're going to manifest. True. But if our thoughts are inspiring and positive, and we have this belief that we can and will be successful and happy and fulfilled, then that's what will return to us.
And it's harder than it sounds. It takes a while. It takes training. It takes support. And then eventually it happens. It starts to flow. Those negative thoughts go away, and we get the positive ones, and it's just fabulous. Everything falls into place. So yes. I'm glad you talked about that, and I'm glad you helped people with their vision statement.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you so much. We really appreciate having you here and learning all about your wisdom, Lisa, and what you offer to people.
Thank you. I love what you're doing, and I appreciate this opportunity. Thanks so much.
Yes, thank you.